Join the conversation by calling in at 476-1045 or tweet into the show at 1045 The Team. It's Big Board Sports with Roger Weiland on 1045 The Team.
Every Friday morning, ESPN Baseball Analyst on Big Board Sports 1045 The Team, ESPN Radio. Tim, Roger Weiland, Chris Honorado in beautiful Albany, New York, close to Cooperstown, today, where we are partnering up for this segment with the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum. Good morning, Timmy. How are you?
I'm well, fellas. How you doing?
Morning, Tim.
We're good, Tim. You probably can guess where I'm going to open up this segment this week, and that is Manny Machado. My good friend Kevin Kernan, New York Post, wrote a big column in yesterday's paper. It might have been today. Go and get him was the headline from Kevin Kernan. Where do you stand on Manny Machado? Do you have any idea, any insight here, Tim, on where he might land?
Well, Kevin's really good at this, and he makes an excellent point. Manny Machado is a difference maker. I think he'll be the complete difference maker in the National League if, say, the Brewers get him or the Diamondbacks get him or maybe the Dodgers get him. I think he could obviously really help the Yankees. But I think the Yankees need a starting pitcher more than they need him. That's fairly obvious. But, Giancarlo Stanton fell in their laps. And years ago, they got offered Roger Clemens for David Wells, and they jumped at it. So when you get something like this, I think you really have to think about it. But I think they should look for a starting pitcher first. But the problem there, as we all know, is there's no starting pitcher out there that needs Noah Syndergaard and Jacob deGrom, who can help the Yankees to the point where I think Manny Machado could. So that's why this is a very complicated situation. Yeah, because the pitchers that you're right. I mean, Jacob deGrom, you'd love to have him, but can you really get him from the Mets? Are they willing to part company? They'd have to throw out a heck of a deal. And then you look at guys like even Happ, who I know there's interest in him, but boy, his last two starts have not been great. Gave up the grand slam last night to Mookie. How about this, Tim? Can you get Machado and, say, a Zach Britton from Baltimore in exchange for a package that would work so you get Machado and a pitcher? Yeah, that's certainly a possibility. But let's face it, the Yankees don't need a reliever like they need a starting pitcher. And even though this is a reliever's game anymore, especially in October, they need a starting pitcher more than they need a reliever. But, yes, there's always a package deal that can go. And I'm telling you guys, this time of year is complete insanity. This is when general managers earn all of their money right now. We in and we out. What are we going to do? We're going to give up our best two young guys to get this guy. Are we going for it or not? And that's why these things take time and why there is so much conversation going on now between GMs. GM told me the other day, I've never seen anything quite like this, and yet we still haven't had a major trade yet to speak of.
Tim Kurkjian with us here on Big Board Sports 1045 The Team, ESPN Radio. Tim, my belief is one that has Yankees fans wanting to hit me, and you may want to slap me after I say this too, but what if Brian Cashman just stood pat, didn't make a big move? There are free agents in the starting pitching market this winter that he could go after. Keep the young talent that's in place. Don't make a move just for the sake of making a move and trying to win this year when, to me, it seems this franchise is set up to win for the next 8 to 10 years. I know that isn't the Yankee or New York way of thinking. Like, it's always, let's go win this year. But my thought is, why not just stand pat? You've got 61 wins and then play the free agent game this winter.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that thinking, because Brian Cashman and the Yankees have done such a spectacular job in recent years of rebuilding that team while staying in contention. Those two things never go hand in hand. And to then go and say, ruin all of the great work he did by trading his four best young players to go for it this year for a starting pitcher that might not make a giant difference, I'm not sure that's the way to go. I would stand pat if that were the situation. But if you can get a difference-making player, pitcher or everyday player, and you can do it without just crippling your farm system, then you have to think about doing that. But standing pat is not the worst idea, especially if you're not going to get what you want or if you have to give up way too much.
Tim, I was settling in last night to watch Cleveland Yankees. Yankees win 7-4. I thought I was going to get a great pitching matchup, and on paper it was. But, boy, Severino and Kluber, neither of them last night had much.
Yeah, and again, Roger, this is why baseball is so great. I watched the same game as you did, and I couldn't wait to see how dominant those guys were going to be, and neither one was. This is how baseball works. Just when you think you know what you're going to watch or you understand something, you realize you don't. And that's what separates it from the other sports. But I have no doubt that Severino and Kluber are going to be gigantic players in October this year. They might even face each other in a Game 1 or a Game 5 or a Game 7, and that's going to be breathtaking to watch no matter what happens.
Tim, did you ever think Boston would, and we all knew they were going to be good, but did you ever, I mean, they've got to the point where they're incredible right now. They've won 10 in a row. Did you, have they exceeded even the expectations? Can we go above good and call them great right now?
Yes, certainly, and they're better than I thought they would be. JD Martinez, I knew he was a great hitter, and even the Red Sox will tell you, because I've asked. They'll tell you, wow, he didn't know he was this great. I mean, this is absurd what he's doing, and he's changing the thought process of a lot of their hitters on how to do this. So to have that kind of record, 10 wins in a row, a bullpen, which lately has been pretty good, there's nothing to not like about the Red Sox now, and yet David Dombrowski is still not going to sit pat. If he finds another major or minor piece, he's going to go get him before July 31st.
Tim, I'm going to throw some love the Mets' way here this morning because I'm rare to do that. But I was surprised. I forget what the heck I was watching last night, but they put up the National League OPS leaders amongst outfielders, and the guy at the top was Brandon Nimmo. I couldn't believe it. I knew he was having a good year, but maybe not to that degree. How much promise is there with the Mets that maybe they already have two of their outfielders for the future in both Nimmo and Conforto?
Well, that's a good point. And if they can ever get Cespedes healthy, and you could go Cespedes, Conforto, and Nimmo long-term, because Cespedes is going to be there for a while, and when he's healthy, he can still really hit. There is something to like there. Nimmo is a very interesting player. He plays with great passion, great energy, and that's exactly what the Mets need. And that swing he took the other night to win the game, I mean, that's got to get at least a few Mets fans encouraged that if we can ever get our starting rotation healthy, maybe some position players are on the way, Nimmo being one of them.
Tim, one more for me, and it's back on the trading deadline. Jacob deGrom. Any chance that he ends up in the pinstripes with the Yankees? Because that would be, in my opinion, the home run ball that Brian Cashman could hit here. Not Manny Machado, but Jacob deGrom.
Well, that would be a grand slam. It wouldn't be a home run. And I don't think it's going to happen. We've been talking about this for weeks now. And I just can't see the Mets doing that, because even though nothing is guaranteed in baseball, the Mets would be presenting the Yankees with a player that might be the difference between just going to the playoffs and winning the World Series. So I don't think they're going to trade deGrom, period, and I'm pretty certain they're not going to trade him to the Yankees.
Well, there you go. And Manny Machado, what percentage here are you going to put on Machado to the Yankees at the trading deadline?
Well, this is really confusing, I must say. We've been at this for 10 months, and don't forget at the winter meetings, a very good guy in our business, right? Machado might be done in the next 2 days. That was in December, and we're still at it here. So I'm going to say the Yankees' percentage chance is 25%.
Okay.
And I'm also going to give about the same percentage to the Brewers and the Diamondbacks and the Dodgers, with the understanding that another team could absolutely float in here at the last minute and get him. That's how big a difference maker he is. And I hope I say this right, I just wish this was over so we can talk about something else. He's dominating everybody's thought process, and he should. He's that good, and he's that much of a difference maker.
Tim, you're the best. We appreciate it. Enjoy the All-Star game.
Yeah.
Is this a little bit of a break for you? You enjoy you enjoy the All-Star game, or this is just crazy time for you?
The Monday and Tuesday will be my probably two busiest days of the year. The good thing is I get to do it from home. Even though I will not be home in my house, I don't think, for more than 2 hours during the entire All-Star week because there is so much work to be done.
Well, you do a phenomenal job, Tim, and it's a pleasure to have you with us every Friday morning here on Big Board Sports. Have a great weekend.
Thank you, Roger. Thank you, Chris.
Thanks, Tim.
See you. That's Tim Kurkjian, ESPN baseball analyst, as we